My name is Daniel K. Cassavar. I'm an interventional cardiologist with ProMedica. Yeah, so I was luckily off early that day. My wife and I went, grabbed lunch, came home. I went up to the barn, which is not near the river. My wife walked down to the house. When she got down to the house, the windows were open because it was such a nice day, and she heard screams, and not the kind of fun screams you hear when people are down having fun in the river. So at that point in time, I got a call from my wife. I could tell by her tone. She was in total panic, screaming that they were drowning, they were drowning. I dropped the phone, jumped in my truck, drove through the yard down to the river. There's a small ledge that I have to go down through, and then it's all slate. So I parked my truck there, and she was standing there screaming. Well, first of all, I told my wife I'm going in, and she screamed, "No, you're not." We called 911.
Wood County 911, what's the emergency? I see people drowning. I think they're kids and adults.
There was no way I was going to stand there and watch these three little boys and their dad die in the river 100 yards from me. I was going out, and I was going to do something. I didn't know if I was going to get there or not, but I was certainly going to try, and I felt fairly confident I could go out and help.
My husband's just not disabled. He's a cardiologist.
So I jumped in. I swam out towards them. Two of the boys were around their dad's neck, holding on. He was coming up and down out of the water. The other boy was floating face down in the water. So I flipped him over, and I started to do CPR, treading water. I did about 15, 20 compressions as quick as I could get him in. And then I thought, I've got to get some air in him. So I gave him 2 large breaths, mouth to mouth. About 10, 15 seconds later, he coughed up a bunch of blood and started to breathe, at which point I could feel a pulse again. Then I just yelled at the dad, "Go back." So he was trying to come towards where you come in. Behind him 30 yards is an island. So I know it gets shallow again as you get up close to that island. So I just wanted to get back towards the island. We could sit there and wait for somebody to come get us. So that's indeed what he did. He went back. We finally got far back enough that I could touch ground. I was holding the young man that I did CPR on. The dad had control of the other 2. A lot of screaming and crying and yelling, but everybody was safe at that point in time. So I consider what I do, I'm very fortunate I can do it. I'm very proud of my wife for reaching out, and my neighbor for getting in there. And I wouldn't do it any other way. Am I a hero? I'm just somebody who's there, and I'm going to help if I can help.